We are here in Night Rocks. Today we're gonna talk about Muse Band. Muse are an English rock band from Texas, Devon, formed in 1984. The band consists of school friends Matthew Bellamy, that is the lead vocals. He plays the guitars, the piano, keyboards, and guitar. Dominic Howard, he also is a second voice. He plays the drums, percussion, synthesizers, and sampling. And Christopher Wolstenholme, that also is a second voice. He plays the bass, keyboards, and guitars and harmonica. Muse are known for their energetic and extravagant live performance, and their fusion of many music genres, including progressive rock, alternative rock, space rock, pop music, heavy metal, and electronica, with recurring themes of revolution. The members of Muse played in separate school bands during their start at Steinman Community College in the early 90s, but the formation of Muse began when Bellamy successfully auditioned for the part of guitarist in Dominic Howard's band. They asked Chris Wolstenholme, who played the drums at the time, to learn play bass guitar for the band. Wolstenholme agreed and took up lessons, while Bellamy had to become singer and songwriter for the band. The other original members of Gothic Plague left after Bellamy suggested that they write their own songs rather than doing covers.
Bellamy and Howard's first band name was Gothic Plague. After Gothic Plague came Fixed Penalty, and after that, Rocket Baby Dolls. In 1994, the band used the name of Rocket Baby Dolls, with the God Glam Imagine to complete in a local battle of the bands. The band won the contest, smashing their equipment in progress. It was supposed to be a protest, a statement, Bellamy said. So when we actually won, it was a real shock, a massive shock. After that, we started taking ourselves seriously. They used to go to the university, but they decided to leave everything and they decided to dedicate the time to the band. The name Muse was inspired with Matthew Bellamy's art teacher. The art teacher Samuel Theodorum mentioned the word muses.
After a few years building a fan base, Muse played their first gigs in London and Manchester. The band had a significant meeting with Dennis Smith, the owner of Sawmills Studio. This situated in a converted wire mill in a Conway. He had seen 2-3 boys grow up, and he knew their parents had a production company together with their manager to be Safer Jeffrey. This meeting led to their first proper recordings and the release of the Muse EP on Sawmills in-house Dangerous label. Their second EP, the Muscle Museum EP, reached number 3 in the indie singles chart and attracted the attention of British radio broadcaster Steve Lamacq, as well as the weekly British music publication MNE. Dennis Smith introduced the band to Safta Jeffrey, with whom he had recently started the record label, Taste Media. Most signed with Smith and Jeffrey and recorded the first 3 albums, Showbiz, Origin of Symmetry, and Absolution with Taste Media.
Now we're gonna talk about the albums of Muse, and after that, the top 10 of the songs.
Showbiz is the debut studio album by English rock band Muse, released in the United Kingdom on October 1998. Recorded between April and May at Rack Studios and Sawmills Studio respectively. The album was produced by John Leckie and Paul Reevey, in conjunction with the band. Showbiz was a minor commercial success, reaching number 29 on the UK albums chart. The singles of this album are You Know, Cave, Moscow Museum, Sunburn, and Unindicted. This album was not considered a good album, but for a young band it was a good one. And the album sounded like a copy of the band radio hit. The band in this moment used to play simple songs, with no experimentations and effects. This is the reason why it's considered the simplest album of the band.
Origin of Symmetry is the second studio album by English alternative rock band Muse, released on 17 July 2001 by the Right Records. Recording took place at White Farm Studios and Surreal and Real World Studio in Walsall, and additional recordings were made at Astoria Studios, Richmond Studios, and Abbey Road Studios in London, and Sound Mills Studio in Fowler, Coventry. The album was mixed at Sound Mills and mastered at Sony Music Studio in London. Origin of Symmetry was produced by David Bottrell and Joe Lickley, and the band themselves. In UK, it reached the number 3, and it was certified by Platinum. The title for the album comes from a concept put forward by Mikio Kaku in his book Hyperspace. Origin of Symmetry is seen as a departure from the alternative rock sound of showbiz, as the band experimented instrumentally to the album. Dominic Howard augmented the standard rock drum kit with various other systems of his own, and Matthew Bellamy used a paper organ of Santa Mary of the Virgin Church, Badwick on Megalomania. Due to the requirement of a paired organ, this song is rarely played live in the Muse. Perhaps the most notable occasion being at Muse charity gig at the Royal Albert Hall and during the Hullabaloo concert in Paris. Throughout the album, the bass line is used as a driving force, often with the guitar providing only an extra layer to the song rather than carrying the melody. The bass has a distortion and other effects applied to it to achieve a greater weight, allowing the guitar to express from the main chord progression and play higher notes. The singles are Newborn, Bliss, Hyper Music, and Plucking Baby. The song Space Dementia is used by Christian Dior for the advertising of the Forgage Magnet Poison.
Absolution is the third studio album by English alternative rock band Muse. It was released on 21 September 2003 in the UK and on 23 March 2004 in the US by Test Music Limited. The album yielded the band's first American hits, Time If Run It Out and Hysteria, the former becoming their first UK top 10 single. The band spent much of 2002 recording Absolution with producer Rich Costate. The album was recorded in the studio in both Los Angeles and London. Bellamy said that the band made a conscious decision to get together in a room and make music, setting aside the time to record the album as previous albums. Recording sessions were hastily arranged and rushed. The album incorporates themes of fear, mistrust, personal achievement, and just one example of this song is Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is a physiological response sometimes seen in an abducted hostage, in which the hostage shows signs of loyalty to the hostage taker regardless of danger or a less risk, in which the hostage have been placed. Some critics made comparison between Muse and Radiohead, a band that heavily influenced Mouse. In this album they use many effects and a cold sound, being considered the depressive album of the band. Also, the piano has an important role in the album.
Black Holes and Revelation is the fourth studio album by English alternative rock band Muse, released on July 3, 2006. Recording was split between New York and France, and it was the first time Muse had taken a more active role in the album's production. The album was changed in style from Muse's previous album, and the band cited influences that included Queen, Millionary, Sly and the Family Stone, Depeche Mode, and music from certain Italy. Like their previous two albums, Black Holes and Revelation has political and science fiction undertones, with the lyrics covering topics as varied as political corruption, alien invasion, revolution, new world order, conspiracies, as well as more conventional love songs. The album was named one of classic rock's 10 essential progressive rock albums of the decade. The singles of the album are Starlight, Supermassive Black Holes, Invincible, and Nights of Sidonia. In this album, they used many effects and urban sound, and they used more ideological lyrics.
The Resistance is the fifth studio album by English alternative rock band Muse, released in Europe on 4th September 2009 and in North America on 5th September 2009. The album's first single, Uprising, was released on 7th September of 2009, with the album's second single, Undisclosed Desires, releasing on 16 November 2009. Resistance was released as the third single from the album on 22 February 2010. Since its release, The Resistance has received generally favorable reviews. Recently, it has an agreed score of 72 on Metacritic based on 23 reviews. AllMusic praised the album highlights Wielding Light, United States of Eurasia, and Exogenesis, calling it by the large fantastic record. In an interview with the Sunday Times, Dan Cairns mentioned that Muse have made an album of genius, brilliance, and beauty.
Sunburn, number 10. The band in this moment used to use the piano and as the base of the song. Number 9. City Eraser. Matthew Bellamy used to play many crazy solos and riff in the song.
Number 8. Time is running out. At this time, the Muse's fans have to get used to a more urban sound. Number 7. Space Dimension. Matthew Bellamy used to play classical music, and in this song we can see that.
6. Starlight. The bass in this song is so powerful, and this is not common in new songs. They had to get used to use a powerful bass because they wanted to get higher notes in the guitar. Number 5. Stockholm Syndrome. Muse used to create lyrics about weird things, like psychological desires, deceit.
Number 4. The Resistance. The fans are getting to use it to listen an electric Muse. Number 3. Supermassive Black Hole. This song was the first hit of Muse.
Number 2. Undisclosed Desires. This song was created on 2009. Number 1. Starlight. This song is considered the most hit of Muse.